obviously Cam Newton is on the top of the list. Like, I'm going to have to look through all of the quarterbacks that are going to have to get cut. We saw Nick Mullins already get picked up. We know there's a couple quarterback competitions going on, so maybe Mason Rudolph is a guy that gets cut at those roster cuts. Maybe he is a guy that you can pick up from, instead of trading an asset to, you can pick him up and bring him in. But there are definitely going to be some quarterbacks out there if the Lions want to bring a guy in to help bolster that quarterback room, which they're going to need to. Being honest, they're going to need to do that.
100%. So. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons. Obviously, the Pittsburgh Steelers starting their starters for the entire first half of their season. Entire first half of their final preseason game. Detroit Lions sitting everyone but Jared Goff. Playing everybody but Jared Goff, and it's for a reason. Because Jared Goff gets hurt during the regular season, it's donezo.
It's over.
100% done. And I heard Dan Campbell, like we said, the Hard Knocks yesterday, hey, it's a good look for us. And obviously he thinks we're still in the developmental stage, but the chances that we're not, we need Jared Goff healthy.
We need Jared Goff healthy, yeah. If we want to win any type of games, if you want to win 7 games, which is what I'm thinking, that's not happening without Jared Goff, because we've seen the guys behind him. We've seen them come in last year, and Blau and Boyle, they're not winners in the NFL. I'm sorry, especially with what the Lions roster is now. Maybe if you had a complete roster with a stacked defense and everything going for you, those guys can squeak you out a win or two in heed of your starting quarterback. But with the Lions roster right now, as much as we are the Jared Goff truthers, you need him to be somewhat successful this season. And yeah, it's tough. We need to bring somebody in. There's no doubt in my mind they need to bring somebody in. We're going to see if they do that.
100%. We're here at the Monroe Street Midway. Obviously got the roller rink going behind us. And what do you call this
contraption?
Yes, contraption.
Oh, it's a little helper. Looks like PVC pipes on a couple wheels. Helping the little ones around. She's going, though. She's got it.
Go. We were talking to you, like, the cool thing about this thing, it's, like, really Detroit themed.
Yes.
We're talking about the flowers being, like, I don't even know how you call that, an oil drum pot. But then obviously you got
yeah.
You got the helpers, for the little kids skating. They're made of PVC pipe and duct tape.
It's Detroit.
Not more Detroit than that.
It's about as Detroit as it gets, man. We love it. They're selling Faygo in the concession stand. It's awesome, though. This is just a great spot. A lot of fun. Make sure you guys come down here and join us. We're going to be here all night. It's the Monroe Street Midway. Jersey, Thursday. You might see Eazy, eat shit out there on the skating rink. Can you skate?
I can, yes. I don't know on this leg, though, man. This leg, it's the weird thing about this, like, meniscus injury, I guess, is, like, I feel like I'm okay, but then every once in a while my leg's like,
It just gives out.
Yeah, I got to need, like, 5 minutes here.
You're still not ready for full action? Working. You're questionable?
I'm questionable for sure.
Okay.
But if I give me some PVC pipe and some duct tape, I might be straight.
You break right through that. You lean into that, the thing would shatter.
Hey, man, nothing shatters easier than glass once I've had a can of Citron.
Oh, yeah.
Citron's official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Citron now has all 3 delicious flavors combined into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. Try Citron's great tasting cranberry, the classic, and sugar-free all in 1 pack. Pre-order your Citron 6-pack sampler box today at citronworld.com/redwings. Get energized with Citron. Let's go Red Wings. Woodward Heavyweights at the Monroe Street Midway. We'll be right back.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and as you can see, we are live from Bedrock Detroit's Monroe Street Midway here in downtown Detroit, right next to Campus Marshes. All night long, they are going to have their Jersey Thursday skating celebration. Make sure you come down. You can see the Woodward Sports crew. You can go roller skating, play some basketball. They got concession stands. They'll even have live music here. So make sure you come down and enjoy the Monroe Street Midway presented by Bedrock Detroit.
What up, dog? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy. I'm my man Spimo Rex.
What up, dog?
And as my guy Spencer said, we are live from Monroe Street Midway. It's Jersey Thursday. We are giving away a free jersey. We're wrapping it off. I think at 8, we're going to start that one off. We have a roller skating party down here, too. Like you said, there's food, all that good stuff. And, of course, we're giving out merch. You know what I'm saying? We had to bring our own little bootleg heavyweights jersey in there, too. You know what I'm saying?
You know, a little something for the people.
100%. Come through. But if you want ours, you got to work for it, okay? It's America,
Yeah,
all right?
we're not giving these for free.
This ain't free.
This ain't free.
Gotta
I mean,
score on Young
baby.
Sus. That's it. Young Sus. Nothing but 6'6" Sus. You should be able to dunk on them.
Yeah, if you dunk on him, you get the shirt and you get a tank top.
Yes.
You score on him, you get the shirt, but if it's a dunk, you yam on him, you get the shirt and a tank top.
Matter of fact, I'll give you my car keys, okay? No, I'm just kidding. I need my car to get
You
home.
heard it here first.
All right, man. We're both rocking Detroit Lions. I knew you were going to wear the Malcolm one. I called you beforehand, and I was like, maybe I'll go with my Detroit Pistons one. I actually have a Speakeasy Custom, boy. I was going to say, pull out, boy, got a little too hot out here. But speaking of Detroit Lions, their head coach, Motor City Dan Campbell, wants people to think he's dumb. That's the way I wrote on the sheet, at least.
That is.
You were the one who discovered the article, though.
We've got the quote. Yeah, you can throw it up there, Sus. It is from Fox Sports NFL. It says, Lions head coach Dan Campbell isn't bothered by the perception of being a coach with a limited strategic football knowledge. So something like that. He's people don't think he knows the X's and O's too well. You can throw the quote up. We have the graphic in there, and you can see his quote. After people said that, they said he doesn't know about the X's and O's. He said, good. If you're an opponent, the dumber you think I am, the better. So keep doubting this man. Keep doubting Dan Campbell. He's just going to use that to motivate him and use it to bust that booty when you come to Ford Field and try to take on the Lions. So I'm excited for that. That just proves that, he knows his limitations. He knows his stipulations. He knows what people think of him.
Yes.
And he's saying, let them think that. He gives out the vibe, man, we got to go out there, man, and do this, man. So people think he's the meathead. People think that he's just some joker, some rah-rah guy. But he knows his stuff. He talks about the analytics of injuries. He talks about different things like that. You don't think this guy's doing his homework. Like, come on now. Don't disrespect my man Dan Campbell like that. He knows more than he's letting on. Just because he's jacked doesn't mean he doesn't know his stuff. So I'm excited to see him go out there and prove some of these guys wrong. I'm excited for him to use that as a motivating factor. Like, look at this is what they think of me. This is what they think of us. They think we're just a bunch of idiots that don't know what they're doing out there. Go out there, prove them wrong. And he surrounded himself by guys like Ben Johnson, like Aaron Glenn, these analytical football minds who know the X's and O's better than he does, who know the different situations better than. That's what a good leader does. He surrounds himself by people that are smarter than him, so they can work with him, help him improve who he is as a leader. So I love it. I love what Dan Campbell's doing, and I expect him to use that, like I said, as a motivator.
100%. I think that's what this leadership structure is. I mean, I'm not going to question Dan Campbell's X's and O's. I doubt that you become an NFL head coach without having a little bit of X's and O's in your repertoire. But nonetheless, they know, I know, we all know, they lean on each other in this entire regime. From Brad Holmes to Dan Campbell to Aaron Glenn to now Ben Johnson. That's just how everything's operated. Before they went to the offseason this year, they all structured the training camp practices that we're talking about today last year before they even went into the offseason. Like, Dan Campbell's not a dummy, but, I'm no, I guess, it's not unknown territory for me.
To be called stupid?
Yeah. No, man, just to be doubted, just in general. You know what I'm saying?
They still doubting us.
100%. I mean, the heavyweights were that.
Yeah.
We are that.
We are that.
A perfect example of that. You always say, you keep your show in the back room and you're going to have your own channel, do all that stuff. Hey, we grew too big for that room. I'm just saying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, 100%. I mean, going even back to, the situation we had with Stick last year. We did the grappling match. Come on, Easy's no white belt. This is a fat guy.
Yeah.
He's a fat guy. No, dude. There's more to a book than its cover. It's cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason because it's very, very true. On top of that, though, Dan Campbell much provides the leadership aspect of being a head coach, where I still believe that Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, those guys are bringing you the X and O's, the creativity in the playbook. And Dan Campbell's not, they all sit down, break it down, and they come to a conclusion together. And that's just how, true leadership is reached, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I was almost with the use of the government, but I don't know if that's a good example. But nonetheless, though, it's better when people collaborate. It's a collaborative effort. I think you get more done that way. You're looking at stuff from different point of views, stuff that you may not think of or thought of.
Exactly. It's definitely better to get other people's points of views. You get guys, like we said, like Ben Johnson, like Aubrey Pleasant, like Aaron Glenn, like Deuce Staley, these guys that might think differently than Dan Campbell. You get them all in a room and you break things down and ask them how they're going, and you help each other succeed. You help each other put out the best product imaginable. You help the Detroit Lions become what you want them to become. So I'm excited for it. Like I said, he's using it as a motivator, obviously. He said, let them hate. Let the people hate. Like you said, we've been doubted since we stepped in here, and look at us now. We're coming live from the Monroe Street Midway, baby. But it's what it's all about, man. You need to use that to fuel you. You need to use your haters, use these people who think less of you, who think down on you, to fuel you and to show them wrong that, hey, you might think I'm stupid, but I'm going to go out there and we're going to put up 40 points on you. And that's what excites me about Dan Campbell. We always talk about how he is a great leader of men. He is a great motivator. He is a guy that's going to go out there. He's going to galvanize the troops. He's going to get everybody ready to go out there and play on Sundays. And he surrounded himself with guys that know the X's and O's. Ben Johnson, you haven't even seen him on Hard Knocks for more than 2 seconds because he's the silent assassin. He's sitting there back there getting the work done, making sure this offense is humming, and it's going to come out there and it's going to put up some points this year. So for all those hating Dan Campbell, I was going to do something, but we got children in attendance, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah, can't talk crazy.
But I will say this, too, let the opponents come in less prepared. You know what I'm saying? Let them think it's a day off. Let them think, it's the Lions and Dan Campbell, Fred Flintstone and the boys, Dirty Mike and the boys. Let them come in less prepared. You know what I'm saying? Let them come in ill-prepared, thinking that they could take on any challenge that's going to be presented to them. Because I tell you what, they're going to be surprised. I think, a lot of people around here down Dan Campbell, too. Come here in Detroit. Week 1, and I don't know the date. I think it's Monday or September 11th. You're here down in Detroit. The Philadelphia Eagles going to visit us. I hope they're thinking the same thing. I hope they're thinking, hey, we whooped the poop out of these boys last year.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it again. But no, that's not going to be the case. Again. Hey, got a 5 spot. I already collected 5 from you. It's going to be another easy 5. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen, man. Although the Levi stuff does make me a little bit nervous. That's what we're talking about next. But 100%, I'm with it. Again, let these guys come in ill-prepared.
Let them come in ill-prepared. Let them come in doubting the Lions. Yeah, that's what you want. You don't want the Hard Knocks thing to go to everybody's heads. That's I looked into I was in a Twitter hole yesterday. Down in the depths.
Okay.
Down in the depths, looking at some tweets, and people were talking about maybe Jared Goff, Ben Johnson, DeAndre Swift, DJ Chark. These guys aren't on Hard Knocks because they didn't want them to see the offense. The Lions are saying, hey, we don't want them to see the offense. We don't want to see them going out there. And, I don't buy that 100%. I think it's just because they're going for the personalities and they're going for the guys you think they're going to get cut. But it helps when you have weapons like that. It helps when you have, they're getting hype about Malcolm Rodriguez, rightfully so. They're getting hype about what Jamal Williams is doing, the energy he's bringing. But you kind of forget about we added DJ Chark. We have DeAndre Swift healthy. We have this entire offensive line, this unit, back and healthy. These guys they're gonna surprise some people for sure to begin the year, and especially if you come in here doubting them, like it seems like people are doing, not only for Dan Campbell but for the Detroit Lions.
We just saw this past weekend, matter of fact, why you just shouldn't sleep on anybody across the year. Not that Kamara Usman did this, but got slept.
He got slept.
You know what I'm saying? And my guy Jamal Hill, coming off his first main event victory. Let him sleep on us. The doctor gonna wake you up.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I'm saying.
While you sleep, we working.
100%.
While you sleep, the Lions are working, man. So that's what it's all about. And it's just another bulletin board thing for Dan Campbell himself.
Yes.
You think that guy needs any more motivation? You think that guy needs any other reason to wake up in the morning and get his double shot? Do you think he needs any more reason to go out there and bite kneecaps? Call him dumb. Say he doesn't know football. He's going to go out there and he's going to show you.
100%. Make him grind even more.
Yeah.
100%. 1,000%. And, I'm going to save it to the next break, actually. Spinny, where can we find the best defense?
Well, you know the best defense around is Guardian Alarm. Because it's summertime is here, and that means spending more time outside. So let Guardian Alarm give you peace of mind while you are enjoying the sunshine. Call 1-800-STAY HOT. That's 1-800-STAY HOT today, and you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. So call 1-800-STAY-OUT and let them know Woodward Sports sent you. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, live from the Monroe Street Midway, presented by Bedrock Detroit, and we will be right back.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for Big Frog Detroit, and right now you can get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt, but it only lasts until the end of the month, so make sure you go down to Big Frog in Novi, tell them we sent you, and they will print you out one on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free Woodward Sports t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy, Eazy, my man, Spin My Racks.
What up, though?
You're on the TV booth, but we got Young Sus with us. We got Flannel Sam with us. Flannel Sam, because we're not in our usual setup, I totally forgot to ask you about this. What is your takeaway of the Dan Campbell, people thinking he's dumb situation?
I mean, the thing is, last year to start the season, it was really bad. I was one of those people that thought there was a 0.0% chance that it would work out. And a couple of those losses had a lot to do with his situationally poor coaching. But like I've mentioned many, many times, he did one of the most phenomenal leadership things that I've seen from a Detroit sports coach ever, and that was saying, Anthony Lynn, you're my friend, I brought you in here, it's just not working. Because that offense looked terrible. And then he decided to start calling plays. He got help from Ben Johnson. They looked better, and he decided in the offseason, Ben Johnson is my offensive coordinator, which I thought was a brilliant move. Ben Johnson is the exact type of guy you want, a young, offensive, innovative mind. And also hiring Aaron Glenn. I think his personnel decisions on his offensive and defensive coordinators have been phenomenal. The defense was bereft of talent last year, and they lost Romeo Okora and Jeff Okudah, but they still played hard. They had phenomenal performances against Arizona, Minnesota in a game, and Baltimore. And they thought so highly of him, the league, that Aaron Glenn got a head coaching interview, which I was even surprised by, but that just shows that Dan Campbell has the leadership part down. He has the hiring of personnel down. I think the reason people think that he's dumb is because he's a little bit cringe sometimes. There have been some things that if it doesn't work out, you're going to look back and be like, what the hell was this guy doing? I mean, I can think of numerous examples, even the player-led practice. I think it's fine. It's a little gimmicky. The pants thing that he was doing in Hard Knocks.
That was kind of cringe.
It was a little bit cringe, and of course, like the biting kneecaps, the race car helmet, the crying at the end of the press conference. Those are things you can be mocked for if you lose.
Things brings our whole list.
Hey,
CVS receipt full of things.
No, I'm just saying that if he loses, he's setting himself up to be kind of like that cringe sort of meathead looked, at least perceived that way as a meathead. But if he wins, I think he might be the most beloved figure in Detroit sports right now. So he's definitely building a cult of personality, but a lot of it is for good reason, especially towards the end of last year with what he did.
For sure.
You know, you brought up something like perfect, too, that I didn't even think of, is like him taking Anthony Glenn and, dismissing him from the offensive coordinator position. A guy that we had here that I thought was a pretty good damn leader. I don't know what you say about coach, but for sure a good leader. Jim Caldwell struggled to do that himself when he had Joe Lombardi as the offensive coordinator. It took Martha Ford to come down to fire that bum from his job. which I believe he's back in the offensive coordinator position with, I think it's the Dolphins. No, it's the Chargers.
Okay.
But nonetheless, just that little effort of leadership, and two, like, you see the change to the team when we talk about it being a more disciplined team.
Yes.
I'm saying I think throughout the first 2 preseason games, throughout the entire NFL, Detroit Lions are number 1 in the least amount of penalties. And I think it's 7 total, 3 in the first game, 4 in the first game, 3 in the second game. So, like, you definitely see the change of Dan Campbell as him being a capable leader and coach.
You definitely see it. You definitely see him. I think it's all part of motivating the guys, them buying into him, who he is as a man, who he is as a leader. And like you said, that kind of leadership helps these guys stay a little straightforward, helps them not get these stupid penalties, not get the 12 men in a huddle, not get the false starts, because you're used to having this man scream at you. You're used to having Deuce Staley scream at you, hold you accountable when things go wrong. So I like it. I think it's important when you have strong leaders like that on your team. And like Sam said, to his point, he's not scared to make the tough decision. When you need to make that decision, you need to fire your friend, a respected guy like Anthony Lynn, you do it, and he's gone. So he knows what he's doing. He's going to go out there. He's going to do what's best for the team and what will ultimately lead for wins for the Lions.
100%. And don't forget the lineage of football this man comes from, too. Bill Parcells, Sean Payton. Like, those are highly respected coaches in the NFL.
Yes.
And real quick, too, I did a little bit more digging on the player-led coach. Remember, I was like, this is unprecedented. We never heard of this before. He got it from Bill Parcells.
Yeah.
After a bad day of practice, Bill Parcells would be like, all right, you blanks coach yourselves and straighten things out. And, obviously hold people accountable in that way. It's a unique way of doing it, but it's been done by a guy who's highly regarded in football circles, and Bill Parcells. But speaking of Dan Campbell, he had a press conference today.
Yes, he did.
He spoke about a little bit of injuries. They asked him about J-Mo. Obviously, he said that he feels he's not ready until he's able to practice and have full practice where he's comfortable put him in the game. He's just not going to see the field at that point. So, unfortunately, J-Mo's on PUP list for that reason. NFI list, I apologize. But reporters continue to ask him about Levi Onwuzurike. I think a critical part to this defense, we want them to be successful, because I think our thick boys, our heavyweights, if you will, are kind of limited on this roster in terms of maybe name value. But Levi Onwuzurike, Dan Campbell, for the press conference close, said he's likely to miss week 1. How you feel about that, Spin?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough when this was your second-round draft pick 2 years ago. This was the guy that you brought in and expected him to be, a game changer up the middle, a guy that can defend, a guy that can stop the run, a guy that can get to the quarterback. He was a highly touted prospect coming out of college. He was a guy you brought in to try to beef up that defensive line, and this is going to be another year where he's dealing with injury issues. He's dealing with things that will keep him off of the field, and it's upsetting, because this guy was supposed to be a big part to this defense. This guy was supposed to go right next to Aleem McNeil in those trenches and build that wall and stop that run and get after the quarterback. So when you're missing a guy like this and he's having injury issues for his second consecutive season out of 2 years he's been in the league, it hurts. It does. And I'm sure that guy is trying to do everything he can to get out on the field, but a back injury for a guy his size is not something that bodes well for the rest of his career. That is something that lingers. That is something that will come back, because back injuries aren't like a torn ACL, aren't like a broken arm. It's not something that's just, okay, once it's healed, it's fixed, you're good. Yeah. They are things that linger, things you can tweak, and then you'll be back on the DL. So it is upsetting, honestly, that Levi's going to miss some time. He's going to be away from this team for a while. They didn't even bring him to Indy when they went to do the joint practices, because they just wanted him to stay here, get his rehab in, and get healthy. But still, it's something you got to look past. You have to focus on the guys who are here, the guys who are healthy that you can bring in and help this team get wins, because you do need to build up that defensive line still. Aleem McNeil can't do everything. Obviously, we like what we saw out of Austin Bryant. Bugs made some nice plays. Kaminsky was out there making plays. But those aren't guys that you're going to have filling in on the defensive line and being your everyday guy. So we need to bring someone in. I saw someone saying the Lions met with Malcolm Brown. You can bring him in here. I wouldn't mind that at all. That is a guy who is very, very highly touted in the league, has done a lot, has made a lot of great things happen in the NFL. So if you bring him in as a fill-in guy for Levi Onwuzurike, I wouldn't be mad about that at all. But you need someone in there to help bolster that defensive line for sure.
Take every little bit of money we got. I think, $9 million cap we got laying around? I'm going to say scoop it into a bag. pick up the phone. All right, you call
Pick
90.
up the phone, babe.
Pick up the phone, baby. Call 90, right? Ring, ring, ring.
Dude.
What up, though? It's Ndamukong Suh. What can I do for you? Let's get him,
It's
boys.
not-
I'm just saying.
It's not going to happen.
Nobody has more kneecap-biting mentality than Ndamukong Suh.
Ndamukong Suh is not coming back here, bro. I
For
understand
$9
why
million,
you want
he's
it.
coming back,
No,
man.
he's not, bro. He's
go,
not.
Suh.
He's not.
Pick up the phone, baby.
He's going to a contender. I would love to see Suh here too. Don't get me wrong. You know, I loved Ndamukong Suh when he was here. I'd love to see him come back and play for us, but it's not gonna happen, bro. I understand how romanticized you are with Ndamukong Suh because he does breed that nasty. He breeds that kneecap biting mentality. He's gonna get down there. He's gonna stomp on Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna do what he needs to do to get that dub. You know that running back's not getting through there without getting punched in the gut.
Stop selling me on spinning.
But it's not going to happen. I'm sorry to break your heart, man.
Oh, my God. You hype me up like that just to bring me down?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
What kind of friend are you?
I'm sorry, man.
Man. No, it's one, first and foremost, like, I am 100% concerned about Levi Onwuzurike. I don't know that he plays another down for Detroit. I'm at that point. Hey, back injury is serious. Like, it's a back injury, a serious injury,
Not
man.
another down?
Dog. All right. Look at it this way, too. I know he's a second-round pick, and I'm not 100% like certain what his contract is, but if I gave you $1 million today, could you set yourself up for the rest of your life?
100%. 100%.
If you got a back injury already bothering him, you already got a bag from last year.
Yeah.
Second-round pick. That's a fairly decent
Not a big
contract.
bag, though. He didn't get a lot of those game checks. You know, he's missing on a lot of those game checks, and that is a big part of the player's salary. So I'm not going to go that far to say, yeah, he's not playing another down for the Detroit Lions.
I'm just saying, man.
It's
back
trending in
injuries
that
still-
direction.
And you know what else is trending in that direction, too? We've had a lot of players retire from the Detroit Lions as of recent.
Yeah.
Tyrell Crosby, Josh Sutton.
Yep.
Before that, another defensive tackle.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Me either.
Didn't matter anyway.
He's gone. Yeah, get out of
We
here.
didn't even care about him. I ain't crying. You're crying. No, but Levi Onwuzurike stuff definitely concerns me, but I like that we get to shop the market. I mean, I don't know that we're for sure going to find a return that's going to benefit the team fully, but I can say I'm excited as a fan. You know, it's always fun when we get a new toy to play with. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is. It is always fun when you get a new toy to play with. It's fun when you bring, especially a guy of that caliber. You bring in a Malcolm Brown. You bring in a Ndamukong Suh. He can help Levi Onwuzurike when he gets back. He can help Aleem McNeil. He can show them how to be disruptive defensive tackles in the NFL. Show them how to get to the quarterback. Show them how to bite kneecaps like a real man does it. Show them how to get in the right position to stop the run. So you need to bring in somebody for sure. Whether that's signing a free agent, picking somebody off waiver cuts, or if you just have faith in Bryant and Buggs and Kaminsky to get it done, maybe you run with that. Maybe you run with those guys in there. You still got Michael Brockers. You still got Aleem McNeil. Do you have enough faith that Kaminsky, Buggs, and Austin Bryant will be able to be suitable replacements for Levi until he is healthy?
To be honest with you, I kind of do. I mean, I was watching some preseason games, it's preseason. It's the other team's second string. Isaiah Blase, everything that comes with that. But I got to be honest with you. All right, okay. I'm the background. But no, 100%. Buggs look nice.
Buggs look nice.
I think Hector looked nice.
Yeah.
Rock looked nice at times.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this Sunday's coming game against the Pittsburgh Steelers probably the tell-all for me. If we're how we feel with the interior defensive side of the line. Because obviously we have another guy, Josh Pascal, who would fill that role for us, but he's injured too. But it is what it is at this point. And again, I have to remember myself as a fan, as much as I get excited looking at the schedule and see a lot of winnable games, I do have to agree with you that we're not a winning team yet. So
We're not.
I can't guarantee and mark this up to get excited like we're going to actually be on the cusp of a playoff or anything like that, because we do very much.
Finally coming back to earth, huh? Finally coming back to earth,
Been
huh?
on earth, dog. I've been on earth. I've been a positive guy. All right, it's been really positive. Detroit Lions. But
Sam, how do you feel about Levi's injury? Do you think we need to bring somebody in, or are you comfortable with the guys we have to replace him?
Oh man, the defensive line is really where they're bereft of depth, and that kind of concerns me. Levi Onwuzurike, I mean, those second-round picks, man. The Detroit Lions just have had some bad luck with them. And with Levi Onwuzurike, you don't know how long is he out. It says week 1. I don't know if it's going to be just week 1. Malcolm Brown is definitely intriguing because I don't trust just having a guy like Isaiah Buggs and Michael Brockers and Aleem McNeil just go in and just run it with them. I'm not sure if that's good enough. Although I will say this, I do like their pass rushers, and I think they can complement the defensive linemen. You can move Aiden Hutchinson down low, even though I would much prefer Aiden Hutchinson to do most of his work from the outside. It's just Levi, I'm not going to say that he's never going to play it down for the Lions again. I think that is way too reactionary right now, but I think there is some concern. A back injury, that is lingering. That is something that can kind of become degenerative as your career goes on. So I'm not going to buy Levi Onwuzurike stock, unfortunately. I would sell. And
Sell.
I mean, I guess you can't get a Lee McNeil and Levi Onwuzurike both right. I guess that's a little bit unfair. You can't ask Brad Holmes to,
balance the universe.
That's fair.
Yeah, balance the
fair.
universe. But still, they're so bereft of depth at the interior defensive line position. It's just, you can't lose any of them or else you might be screwed. But Malcolm Brown, he's a champion. He's been at least a rotational piece his whole career. I wouldn't mind it. What do you got to say, Eazy?
I was going to say Tyrell Crosby. I think the reason why he finally sat out retired was it the degenerative back issue?
Yes.
And another thing, too, about a back injury, so many other injuries stem from that. Your spine, you can touch it and they, give you a little, I'm not going to go ask kids around. But
yeah, chill.
Your spine. There's just so many areas of your spine that connect to other things.
Yes.
I'm a
the
little
backbone connects to the hip bone. We all know about that. But no. Hip bone.
Hey, DJ, spin that.
No, it's something to be nervous about for sure. I do think they need to bring somebody in to bolster that. And that's what makes me so sad is we were talking about before, the year started, before training camp even started, we were like, wow, this defensive line, they got some depth. They can rotate some pieces in there. And now with Okwara's both out, with Levi out, with Josh Pascal out, your depth is gone. And you're going to have to rely on about 5, 6, maybe 7 guys to be in there all game, to be making plays and to be battling in the trenches. But if you want a big boy, all you got to do is go to Big Boy and get one, because they got the Big Boy hamburger, as you know, but more importantly, they got ciabattas, because ciabattas are back at Big Boy. They got the Sunrise ham and cheddar, the chicken club, and they have the delicious summer salads. They've got the Michigan apple, the chicken Caesar, and the Greek. Don't forget you can cool off with a nice hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake as well. You heard it here first, folks. Summer just got better at Big Boy. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, live from the Monroe Street Midway, presented by Bedrock Detroit, and we will be right back.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
We need somebody to really take the reins here. I mean, somebody needs to step up out of the two, and I thought they both progressed last week. Now somebody needs to step up and run this offense, play efficient, play smart, take care of the football, get us the first downs, and when we get down to the red zone, score touchdowns for us. There's always a possibility. That goes with any position. I mean, we're still number 2 on the claim list, so at the end of this, there's nothing to say that just because somebody has made our roster that they're staying that way.
Hey, the question who asked that voice sounds very familiar.
Pretty familiar.
Pretty familiar.
The question who asked that voice sounded pretty familiar.
The voice that asked that question sounds eerily familiar.
Might have been our very own Madeline Miller.
Madeline Miller, the new Detroit Lions beat writer for Woodward Sports.
The new Detroit Lions beat writer for Woodward Sports, asking the important questions to Dan Campbell already.
Hard hitting one too.
Hard hitting.
I mean, it's backup quarterback, but a good thing, we'll around before we discuss this. I try to get, pop the mouth. But Dan Campbell's willing to go to the waiver wire to pick up the Detroit Lions backup quarterback.
He is. It's important when you see, because as you know, Blau and Boyle not looking the hottest, not getting it done really. That's they have their strengths, but they also have their weaknesses. and their weaknesses tend to outweigh their strengths. You know, David Blau's strength. He's got some legs. He can move. He can move in the pocket. He can scramble for some yards. He's got a hot Colombian wife. He does a lot of different stuff very well. But you know, he's been a little loose with the football this year. He's got a couple interceptions. He had a fumble. Obviously, we saw that cost them that first preseason game. So, and Tim Boyle, obviously, rocket arm. You know, dude's got a huge arm. But like we said, maybe it's too big. Maybe it's that old Matt Stafford critique. He's throwing that boy too hard.
Yes.
You know, he's throwing it too hard. He's overthrowing guys. He can't really place it as well as you'd like him to. So even as a backup quarterback, you need to bring in somebody you can depend on. You need to bring in somebody that you know could fill in a spot and win some games for you. And that is what Dan Campbell is looking to do. He's going to look at some guys in the waiver wire. He's going to look at some guys that aren't even on teams like Cam Newton maybe, and bring them in possibly, quite possibly, to be the backup for this team.
You know, I was opposed to it before. And, you know, my rational mind probably still should be opposed to it, but dang it, let's get Cam Newton.
Hell yeah, bring him in.
Why not?
Bring him in, baby.
If we're gonna suck, let's be entertaining, all right?
Yes.
I'm just saying, we're not gonna go, well, let's be mildly entertaining. Let's get Cam Newton on the sideline. Let's see him wear some funky stuff at the press conferences.
Yes.
Like, I'm down for it. He's gonna probably come dressed up like this trailer over here.
You saw that hat Braylon was wearing today. Maybe he's getting ready to bring Cam Newton into the D. You know, we're going to have Cam Newton in here. He's going to be texting with that stupid-ass text messages under his Instagram comments. Bring him in. Bring me Cam. Bring him in here. He can win some games if you need him to. I have the utmost faith in Cam Newton compared to Blau or Boyle.
Yeah.
Like, at least Cam has done it before. And we're not expecting him to come in here and be the QB1, pay him a fat contract. We're not saying that. We're saying bring him in here as a backup. The guy already knows what he is at this point. He knows he got beat out by Mac Jones. He knows he didn't get picked up after that. So he knows he is not this superstar anymore. He knows he's not a league MVP anymore. So I have a feeling that he'd be willing to come in, accept that backup position, and that can only help you when you have a guy like that. That could be your backup. If Jared Goff goes down for 1 or 2 games, I feel much more confident having Cam Newton to be our quarterback compared to Blau or Boyle.
I'm sorry.
You gotta talk, bro.
I have a list.
It's a talk show, bro.
I know, but I'm looking up the free agent quarterbacks, all right? Ryan Fitzpatrick, retired. Cam Newton, somewhere typing weird text. I don't know how he even does that, by the way. Shout out. He must be. AJ McCarron. Brett Huntley.
Brett Huntley?
Would you Brett Huntley?
I don't want Brett Huntley. No? I don't think Brett Huntley's any better than Blau.
Over Tim Boyle? I'd take Brett Huntley over Tim Boyle, no?
Nah, that doesn't do it for me.
To be honest with you, this list is
it doesn't perk me up. Doesn't gird my loins.
No. That was, like I said, you get excited because you think you might get some new toys to play with, but this list is, I don't want that. You know
You're going to go do Soldier Boy on some skates? Could you do that? Could you pull that off?
I just told you about my knee back in the day. I mean, probably a couple months ago, yeah. Not now.
Sam Plano, would you bring in Cam Newton tomorrow as your backup quarterback?
No, I would not bring in Cam Newton. Cam Newton is cooked. He's had shoulder injuries. He can't throw the football anymore. And one of the elements of his game that made him so great, his running ability, I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to do it, how long he's going to be able to open himself up and make himself susceptible to injury. Cam Newton, like I said, the last we saw of him, he was not any good with the Patriots. He was actually a detriment to the team. So I don't want Cam Newton. And just for the record, guys, if you all act like you don't like this song or never liked it, you're lying. It's still a banger.
It's a hit. I was the first Detroit sports broadcaster to say bring Cam Newton to the D. My Soldier Boy shit. But no, it is a guy that, and I think this is just another thing that shows that this Detroit coaching staff and leadership, they are not happy with the quarterback room as a whole. You heard Brad Holmes say in the offseason, if my guy's there in the draft, I'm going to grab a quarterback. If I believe in that quarterback, I'm going to grab him. You heard Dan Campbell say, hell yeah, we might bring in somebody off waivers because you've seen Tim Boyle and David Blau out there, and it's not great. It's not great. I'm not going to lie. So it's the second weakest room on our team. It's probably linebackers and quarterbacks.
I'd say quarterback's one, to be honest.
Quarterback's one. No, Goff's better than, he's at least a capable starter.
He's 72, bro.
Do it. Bring Cam Newton to the D. He's going to go and get some TDs. No, we can bring him here. I wouldn't be mad about it, honestly.
Bars.
I wouldn't be mad about it, honestly.
Bars.
Yo, and before you guys call me a hater, Cam Newton was my favorite. He's my favorite college player of all time, other than Michigan players. That dude in 2010 put up the single greatest season I've ever seen. Remember at the end when he had that scandal and everything, and people kept calling him Scam Newton? I was in high school at the time, and all my friends were like, "Oh my God, I'm rooting for Oregon." So when Cam Newton and Auburn won that national championship, I went ham. I was such a dick the next day. Sorry, there are any kids around, but I was such a jerk the next day to like all my friends. It was beautiful. But Cam Newton, he had his time. He's cooked. Even as the backup.
I don't know. I just, like you said though, he had arguably the best collegiate season of all time. We know he had the MVP season. We know he went to a Super Bowl. After that Super Bowl, that's where he started to decline. You know, there was the whole, he didn't jump on the fumble thing in the Super Bowl. That was a whole big thing. And yeah, it looked pretty sus, not gonna lie. It looked a little like Chris Platty. But we're gonna do a bunch of different stuff to put him in situations we don't. If he comes in here as a backup, you're not expecting him to go for 400 yards all-purpose and 3 touchdowns. You know, that's not what you need out of your backup quarterback. That's Cam Newton. He is just a guy that's been there before, and to me is still better than David Blau or Tim Boyle at this point in his career.
What? Oh my, that just scared me. What? Can we make this a poll, Sus? Which former MVP would you rather have in Detroit? Because both have been spoken about this past week. Russell Westbrook or Cam Newton? They dress the same. Bob, can we make that a poll? You know, which former? Because they're both former MVPs of the league. Both of them are championship lists. Both of them are light skinned. Both of them dressed like this polka dotted trailer next to us. But I'm curious because a lot of people say no to both. But if you gun to your head, which one you had to choose? I'm going Cam Newton.
I'm going Cam Newton over Russ for sure. For sure. It's because you're bringing in Cam Newton in a different role. So I'm excited for that. But even if it's not Cam Newton, we need to bring somebody in that can be that backup quarterback. Because if we go into the season with our backup as Tim Boyle, I'm going to be very scared. Every time Jared Goff takes a hit, I'm going to cringe. Because if he goes down and Tim Boyle's our backup, even if it's for 3 or 4 games, you're losing those 3 and 4 games.
Yeah, Tim Boyle, pitiful to watch. We have Adam Baydun with us, too. I wish you had a mic because we're asking, which former MVP would you rather bring to Detroit? Cam Newton or Russell Westbrook? Had to pick one. Gun to your head. What's something happened?
Yeah, no, stream's tweaking. It's super laggy.
Dancing, bro. This music's lit right now.
Yeah, it's
So he's typing in that poll. I probably should have told him to do that.
No, it was happening before that for a while. Okay. But yeah, you need to bring somebody in, regardless of who it is. Like you said, you got a list. Who else is on your list?
Dude, that list.
Huntley.
That's literally the only one worth.
Yeah, I bet Deshaun Kaiser's still out there. You gonna bring in Deshaun Kaiser?
I honestly I don't count a lot of my younger takes as credible takes because I was like a kid. I thought Deshaun Kaiser was gonna be the truth. This is your jam.
I love this song. Yeah.
It is a slap. I'm telling you, the only time Future's good is when it's Drake.
No, that's not true at all.
That's very true.
Not true. Not true.
Very true.
You're just a hater.
I bet half his hits come with Drake.
That's not true at all.
I'm just saying, his biggest one's probably with Drake.
That's probably true.
No, but the list I had, let me find it real quick. It was not pretty. Matter of fact, I closed it out. That's how much I didn't care about it.
Yeah.
Huntley was the only dude worth mentioning.
Huntley was the only name worth mentioning. Yeah, that's tough.
AJ McCarron was on there.
But there's still guys that are gonna get cut. Like I said, like Mason Rudolph is probably gonna get cut. So if you can't, I don't know. You need somebody.
Tom Kennedy for Malik Willis, straight up.
Yeah, I wish.
You got Eric Woodyard in the building.
I wish. That'd be great. But that would never happen.
What? Malik Willis?
Yeah.
Tom Kennedy. Yeah, no. That's the Detroit Lions beat right there.
Would you trade? Would you trade for a competent backup if there's nobody on the market after they're getting cut? Would you trade a piece? Like Joey said, he'd trade a 4th rounder for Gardner Minshew.
Joey loves Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
I don't know. That don't count. So the only way that I'm trading for a backup is if we start the season 500. I'm saying the first half of the season, if we're over 500, I'd consider trading for a backup at that point. Tyrod Taylor or something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Tyrod Taylor, you bring Tyrod Taylor in if you have a young guy, and then Tyrod Taylor goes to start and gets hurt, and the other guy starts. You remember what they punctured his lung, or a team doctor punctured his lung so Justin Herbert could start. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. But, you know, if you want to get smart on who you should pick or what's going on there, where would you go to learn those smarts?
I'd go to the Academy of Warren. It's a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. It also can be used for 7-on-7 football. If you guys want to learn how to talk business a little bit. The K-8 features such as AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, a learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch. Heavyweights love that. Whole Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll your kids today at theacademyofwarren.net.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Rex.
What up, though?
I would say we got young sons in the building, but we are not in the building. We are outside the Monroe Street Midway. We outside. I'll catch me outside. How about that? We're at the Monroe Street Midway. My guy Young Sus on the TD booth. My guy Flannel Sam on the audio controls of 1s and 2s. Gun to your head, Flannel Sam. Which former MVP would you rather have here in Detroit? Russell Westbrook or Cam Newton?
Oh, it's Cam Newton by a mile because he'd just be the backup quarterback. Russell Westbrook, I believe, would be destructive to this team because that's basically what he's been for the latter part of his career. Kind of all stats, but he doesn't impact winning at all. He's not a very smart player. He is probably the most low IQ NBA star in NBA history, in my opinion.
Damn.
So Cam Newton, he's just a backup. Russell Westbrook could actively hurt your team and actively stunt the growth of the Pistons' young players.
That's fair. That's a fair take. Yeah, if you bring in Cam Newton, he's going to be nothing more than a backup. You bring in Russell, he's still going to try to be Russ. He's still going to try to dominate the ball. He's still going to do things like that. So
that's not the case.
No.
Speaking of those backups, I think it's quite the writing's on the wall. One of those guys getting cut. With Tim Boyle, David Blau. At this point, I personally rather have David Blau. I'll take Boyle's a cut, but none of that. Now, nonetheless,
that makes sense.
Detroit Lions making a cut regardless. 27 of them, in fact. Any surprise names you expect to be on the chop block come next week? This final round.
Man, surprise names, yeah, because you have a bunch of guys nobody's ever heard of that are probably going to get cut.
Yeah.
Some surprise names.
I didn't know he was on the team.
Surprise names, Mike Hughes. Mike Hughes might be one that could be, that's a guy they brought in. He might be right out of here. That's a guy.
With the emergence of Chase Lucas.
With the emergence of Chase Lucas, with Jerry Jacobs not being as injured as we thought he was, maybe being able to come back pretty soon.
Yeah.
Mike Hughes might be on his way right out of town as soon as he got here. It's tough because you brought him in and Madden rated him as our highest defensive back, and dude might be off the roster. So that's a guy that I think is on the bubble. He's definitely a guy that you need to look at that might not make this team because he's costing you some money.
Yeah.
And he's going to want to play. But is he any better than Chase Lucas? Is he any better? Obviously not than Jerry Jacobs when he gets back. But you still have, you got Chris Harris. Or Charles Harris. Will Harris.
Yes.
You have Jerry Jacobs when he comes back. You have Chase Lucas. You have Jeff Okudah. And obviously my boy Amani. So is Mike Hughes the odd man out in that situation?
Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering, too, I wish that my internet worked a little bit better, but I'm curious, and if anybody in the chat is listening, how many safeties did the Detroit Lions carry to the 2021 season? Because I'm looking at this list, and it's guy that I'm personally rooting for, and Ife Melifonwu, just because I've always seen him as a safety the day he was drafted. But maybe if he's there, I mean, if he's been inactive, hasn't really been playing. Obviously, he's already a position change at this point where they didn't think he's going to work out as a quarterback. Might be a little bit of a surprise one. And again, these are surprise cuts, guys. I don't want you. I know how you fans are. Mike takes it like, oh, these guys are falling. You'd be mad about it, but if you might be on the list, man.
I don't think Iffy's on the list. You think Iffy's on the list?
I'm just saying, like, surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, I don't know how many safeties they carried in last year. I will say we do run a different defense this year. I was doing, you got my text like 12 a.m. last night.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the formation they're doing.
Yeah.
4-2.
I don't know why you sent that.
Well, I just, for some reason, everyone keeps saying
they had
4-2.
5 safeties. Five safeties on the roster last year.
Okay, if he's straight. I got another list then. I'll move on. Jared Davis.
Jared Davis, that is definitely a guy I can see getting the axe. Definitely 100%. A guy, he's also, like we said, these are surprise cuts, people. We all know that all of the nameless guys that nobody's ever heard of are going to be the first ones off.
Oh, 100%.
But these are guys that you've heard of that might have been, you thought could be a starter before training camp started. These are guys that are on the borderline list to get cut. So I think Jared Davis is a good one. We've obviously seen him, he got the Hard Knocks hype at then when he was in the last play of the game in the second preseason game. That doesn't bode well for you. If you're playing, the last play of the game in the second preseason game, that means you're close to the bottom of the list.
If Devin Funchess got cut, does that count as a surprise or no?
No, I think that's more of an injury thing.
Yeah.
It's, if he's healthy, if he kept doing it, he would make the team. But, I like the Jared Davis one because obviously the emergence of Malcolm Rodriguez. Obviously, you still have Alex Anzalone. You've got Derek Barnes. You've got Chris Board. And then after that, Davis might be the one to get the axe. We already saw them cut Sean Dion Hamilton, so you don't have to worry about that.
100%.
So maybe they keep on Davis because they just cut a linebacker, but we'll see.
And they're only starting two linebackers at a time.
Yes.
I could definitely see this linebacking room getting obliterated.
Cut down. Yeah, it's not like anybody's.
4 or 5 guys are tops.
Nobody is safe except for Malcolm and Alex.
Yeah.
These linebackers are all suspect at best. So, Jared Davis, you brought him in here as a flyer to see if he could be a guy that could make this team, that could help this team win. And it hasn't been looking good.
James Houston. I know he's a draft pick. I don't know if he could cut practice squad maybe because the term changed some sort of rights to him, I assume, as a draft pick. But James Houston, I don't think he's made any type of impression on this team enough to deserve a roster spot.
No, definitely a guy that could be cut. Definitely a guy that's cuttable. Like you said, you haven't seen anything from him. You haven't heard anything from him. So I wouldn't mind that at all. Another guy I've been looking at, we've been talking about a lot, Jamar Jefferson.
Yeah.
Jamar Jefferson, we saw him last year. We saw him make some plays, looked good. You heard at the beginning of camp, he made some steps forward. He's progressing. He's where he needs to be. But then they bring in Justin Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Justin Jackson looked pretty good. Justin Jackson looked pretty damn good when he got some runs.
Justin Jackson did look good.
You have the guys. You have the 3 set. Obviously, you got Swift, Jamal, Craig. Yeah. Craig. Come on, Craig. I ain't putting down my gun. I ain't Craig. So you have a guy like that is your 3rd running back. The 4th running back, I think we all expect it to be Justin Jackson after what he did, after how he performed. And then the 5th running back is probably going to be Godwin because what Godwin does in special teams, what he does outside, they said Jamar Jefferson was lacking in special teams. He wasn't bringing that kind of consistency to special teams, and we know he's got stone hands. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was the guy to get the X. Sam, how do you feel? Do you think Jamar Jefferson is on the chopping block?
Oh, I think there's definitely a chance that he's on the chopping block because you've got the number 1 Swift, you got Jamal Williams, you have Craig Reynolds, who I think will be the clear number 3, and then you have Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson was actually the name that I was going to say maybe a surprise cut, but I would completely disagree with it because I think he's a savvy veteran.
Yes.
He's obviously showed out this preseason, and he's good catching the ball out of the backfield.
Yes.
But Jamar Jefferson, he might be the odd man out. Either him or Godwin Igwebuike is not making this team. Another kind of sneaky name, I don't know if it would be a surprise because you stole all the good ones. Jared Davis was mine. What about Brock Wright?
Ooh.
I was thinking
Zylstra has been getting a lot of love lately.
Hey.
And you got Funchess, who who did well, who we don't know about his injury. I think he's back. I think it was just a stinger. So Brock Wright might be an odd man out. We saw him, he's a big guy. I believe he had a couple nice catches in that game I was at, that Minnesota game last year. He had a couple nice catches, so I like that one, Sam. That's a good one. Brock Wright, is he on the chopping block?
I mean, I think he might be, just because, like you said, Zylstra, Devin Funchess, even like a James Mitchell. But like I said, the names that you mentioned, Mike Hughes, Jared Davis, I think those are the two obvious ones. Mike Hughes, because he was brought in kind of as a veteran, and he cost them a little bit of money, and a lot of young people like A.J. Parker and Jerry Jacobs, and, of course, Will Harris, Jeff Okudah. There's a lot of cornerback depth, even if they all aren't very good. And then the linebacking crew with the emergence of Malcolm Rodriguez, even though Malcolm Rodriguez and Jared Davis are not the same players per se.
Malcolm's way better.
Hey, I mean, we hope so. He better be way better. I mean, he's a 6th-round pick. You shouldn't say he better be, but
he's starting over Jared at this point. He's way better.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, if he can approximate what he did at Oklahoma State at some point in his career, that would be one of the great picks the Lions have ever had.
Honestly.
All pro level, he does that.
All pro level if he does what?
If he does what he did at Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah.
Dude was balling at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's an interesting one, though, in Justin Jackson, because he is a late comer to the team. However, I would be...
Late comer.
Only because Deuce Staley was on the mic the other day, and he enjoyed that he brought what he brought to the running back room, because he's so damn competitive.
Yeah.
He put guys on their asses like, damn, I'm not a lock for this team anymore because this dude is outproducing me. He's only been here a week.
Yeah, he, like you said, he did come late, but I don't think they'll pull out, because normally when you come late, you don't pull out. So for Justin Jackson to lose his spot on this team, I think he will have to do something completely self-destructive in the 3rd game. I think he showed enough in that 2nd game. He was the best running back on the field in that game for the Lions. They all got the same amount of attempts. He had the most yards. He had the longest carry. So I expect them to keep him. Like we said, he is a savvy veteran, like Sam said. He does have great hands coming out of the backfield, like Sam said, and that is something you need out of those backup running back spots. Like, that is, I think, what is the big thing that's going to get Jamar Jefferson off of this roster, is because he's shown the inability to catch the ball out of the backfield and from what we've seen so far. So I like Justin Jackson. He was a great backup for Eckler for the Chargers. He was the 3rd string, actually. Eckler got hurt, then Josh Kelly got hurt, and they brought in Josh Jackson, and he was balling for a while. He was fantasy eligible. He was a player that you could pick up because he was going for 100 yards and a touchdown. So I like it. I think he has a spot on his team unless he does something completely self-destructive in the 3rd game.
100%, I'm with you. I think the fumble hurt him a little bit, but obviously he had the production. They all had the same amount of attempts. He was the one who obviously came on top of that one, so I'm with you a little bit. I would be a little bit surprised if Justin Jackson got cut, making another gentleman in that room a surprise cut. Godwin, Jamar, like what are those two? Like which one?
I think Jamar is more cuttable than Godwin, because what Godwin does with the special teams, he does a lot more in special teams. We heard Dan Campbell saying that Jamar needs to work on his special teams presence. Like, if you're the 4th, 5th, 6th running back on a team, you need to be a baller on special teams. You 100%. Need to be doing something else to make yourself available, to make yourself valuable. Thank you. To make yourself a piece that they can't just move away from. So I'm excited for this battle to see how it turns out. I think they'll all have this. They'll do the kind of thing they did. Yeah, I don't like that either. Something's going to go wrong. But I expect them to make some plays. I expect them to all, again, like they did in Game 2, get the same kind of carries, get the same kind of situation to where they're all going to have the same sample size and they can judge them off that equally.
Yeah, Frank Ragnow getting cut. No, I'm joking. No, a lot of guys secondary on the chopping block. Mark Gilbert, I can see. Boswell, I can see going. Chase Lucas putting a lot of guys on notice. That locker room's getting a little bit intense too, but I guarantee as coaches they love that, because that forces these guys to bring it every single day.
It does, 100%, and that's what these coaches have preached, is that they're not going to just let you go by as, oh, you're just, you've been there before, you've done it. No, everybody's getting their equal chance. You saw the Hard Knocks bit with Shepard where he's like, I'm not going to start a rookie. I don't want to start a rookie, but he's making me start a rookie because he's outplaying all you guys, So they're not going to go off of name. They're not going to go off of draft position. They're going to go off of who is the best performer, who's doing well. And right now, Chase Lucas looks like he's outperforming Mike Hughes.
Flannel Sam, I I haven't got to hear your take on the whole Chase Lucas stuff and the emergence of Chase Lucas. Like, you think it's a real deal or what's up?
I mean, he's a 7th-round pick, but he's a veteran 7th-round pick. I believe he's 25 years old. Yeah. It's just kind of amazing how he's got some major, cojones on him. He's the guy that's out there acting almost like the leader of the secondary of that second team as a rookie. That is certainly impressive. If he would have caught that pick, though, maybe he would be more likely to make the team. But I think he's going to make the team. I don't know if he's going to contribute, but as a valuable backup and as kind of already a vocal type of leader in year one, he's definitely promising, and of course he's very cheap. He's a 7th-round pick on a rookie deal. I mean, you can't really ask for anything better than that.
Okay, yeah, so it's really, it's not something you can ask for. You don't expect these guys to be competing for jobs when they come out of the 6th round, the 7th round. You have Malcolm Rodriguez, you have Chase Lucas, you have these guys who are beating out vets. It's like these guys, even though Jared Davis is a guy that they brought in to see what he can do, he's getting beat out by a rookie linebacker. Chris Board, a guy they brought in to try to be a starter, he's getting beat out by a rookie linebacker. Mike Hughes, a guy they brought in to be a starter, to be CB2, is getting beat out. Well, not CB2, but the slot cornerback is getting beat out by Chase Lucas. So it's a spawn of the coaching staff, them being so competitive, them giving each other the business. You have these guys fighting against each other every single snap, fighting for that competition, fighting for that starting spot, and that's what you want out of these guys, honestly.
Spinny, if you're on the chopping block and you're going to fight to make the roster, where's one place you go to work out that has premium equipment and all that other good stuff?
It's Planet Fitness, obviously, because as you can see, we are not in the Planet Fitness studios in Birmingham, but Planet Fitness still has the high school summer pass going. Planet Fitness inviting all high school teens ages 14 to 19 to work out for free all summer long, but it ends August 31st. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership is just $10 a month, or their Black Card is $24.99 a month. Black Card members enjoy the use of amenities such as unlimited tanning, hydro massage chairs, and total body enhancement. Also, 2,000 locations worldwide you can get into thanks for the Black Card. So join in club at Planet Fitness today or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, live from the Bedrock, Detroit, Monroe Street Midway. We'll be right back.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a big project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Give them a call today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. Again, that's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, join my man Spin Morax.
What up, though?
And I'm screaming so goddamn loud because I want to make sure my microphone's working. And if you can't hear me in mine, you're going to hear it, Spencer's. Hit the like button if you guys haven't already. Hit the share button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. We really appreciate that. We're carrying on with the show. As you know, we're at the Monroe Street Midway. If you guys want to win a free jersey, make sure you come on down. We're raffling one of those off, as well as dead weight, heavyweight merch. Guys, for that one, though, you got to score on Young Sus. You got to dunk on my guy. All right? Adam's smiling. It's making me nervous. I got something in my teeth. I don't know what's going on. But moving on, Spinny. We got a topic that we skipped over. No, we jumped into that one. Jared Goff, the third most picks since 2018, according to Game Day.
Yeah, that's true. We have the Sus. Can you throw up the list for us of the most interceptions in the NFL since I believe it's 2018? and Jared Goff is third on that list. Since 2018, the top 10 most interceptions in the NFL, you have the two Panther starters in Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Then at number 3, you've got Jared Goff. At number 4, you've got Jameis Winston, Mr. 30-30 himself. 5, Josh Allen, which is kind of surprising, but we know Josh Allen was pretty inaccurate his first couple years of the season. And then to round out the bottom 5, you've got Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Adams' boy Matty Stafford, and Andy Dalton. So, Jared Goff, third most interceptions in the league since 2018. How does that make you feel about the Lions starting quarterback, Eazy?
Not good.
Not good, brother. I'll tell you that.
I will say this, though, because I know I'm infamous for bashing Matthew Stafford, so I have to continue to do so. Matty Stafford missed most of that 2018-2019 season. He dropped out of the last 8 games. Otherwise, I'm sure he'd round up that top 5. But no, Jared Goff leading the top 3, most interceptions 2018. We know it. We've seen the play on the field last year. He was very turnover prone. Whether it was dropping the ball of his Whopper Jr. hands or just throwing it completely to the other team. Jared Goff has been an issue at quarterback. He struggles to read the field at times. At least that's what reports were saying coming out of the LA Rams camp, which, hey, they just won the Super Bowl. They might know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But we have seen Jared Goff be successful, and it's when he had a run game. To complete, I guess, ease up that box for him, to stack that box for him so his receivers have more room to work with and he can find him downfield. Ben Johnson's saying he's giving him that. In fact, I know he has because Jared Goff sat with him again 2 days. 2 days in a row, they sat down together and tailored his offense. Jared Goff, the first, second read, he knows it. We've heard it from guys like DJ Chark. He says, whenever I have a question, I don't have to go to Ben Johnson. I go to my quarterback, Jared Goff. And that's who you want him to go to anyway as a receiver because that's who's throwing you the damn ball. I understand that Jared Goff has had third most interceptions since 2018. However, as much as it pains me to say, I don't know if that's going to be the case this year, and I'm fairly confident in the man.
I have him at about 12 interceptions this year. I don't think he'll go on a crazy pace, but that is something that I can see happening. Jared Goff is at his best when you're running the ball. Jared Goff is at his best when you're working out of play action, when he's handing the ball to Todd Gurley 30 times a game. But you need to be in the game to let that stuff work. Obviously, this Lions team wants to build off the run. This Lions team wants to be a run-first team. But you can only be a run-first team if you're in games. You can't be run-first when you're down 20 points. So we need the defense to hold up. We need these to be close games so the Lions can run the ball so Jared Goff doesn't have to air it out 40 times a game because that's where he gets in trouble. When they get away from the run game, and it's just Jared Goff being gunslinger, which is never a good option, and that's how you get picked off, is when you're asking him to do too much. Sam, how do you feel about that list? How do you feel seeing Jared Goff on that list?
It's a little bit surprising, isn't it? Because one of the things that is sort of seen as a positive of Jared Goff is that he can be a game manager. I mean, honestly, the first two are to the shock of absolutely no one. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, nobody's shocked about that. But when I saw Jared Goff at third, it made me think a little bit because even in 2018 he threw some interceptions. I think he obviously threw like he would throw them consistently for every year that he's played, but I think he's going to do a better job taking care of the football this year. Although with DJ Chark being added, I think he will try to push the ball down the field a little bit more, so that may cause some interceptions. Honestly, interceptions are not the worst thing in the world all the time if you take chances, if you also make big plays. Every single quarterback who has ever played in the NFL besides Aaron Rodgers throws interceptions. And one of Aaron Rodgers' perceived weaknesses is sometimes he doesn't take enough chances. He doesn't trust his wide receivers enough. So this isn't a huge deal to me, although I was pretty shocked that only Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold have thrown more than him since 2018. That is not company you want to keep.
That is definitely not company you want to keep. That is literally the Panthers' quarterback rotation and Jared Goff. So what does it say about the Panthers that they brought in the two guys with the most interceptions in the NFL since 2018 and be like, we're gonna build our team off of these two guys. So that is pretty wild. But there's a lot to dissect. Yeah, so there's a lot to dissect here. We need different things going on, and obviously there are a bunch of situations where you can put Jared Goff in to have success. There are situations where Jared Goff isn't one of the most intercepted quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, if you have a running game behind him, if you have a good play action offense going, Jared Goff isn't going to turn over the ball as much. We saw him do that in his Pro Bowl season with the Rams. We saw him do that in multiple occasions with the Rams where that offense was lethal, partially because Jared Goff. So what do you think? Can Jared Goff cut down on the turnovers this year? Can he be a guy that this offense relies on?
100%. I think he can. I think Jared Goff, I mean, we've seen him be capable of it. I mean, this guy's gone to a Super Bowl. This guy he's made Pro Bowls. He's thrown over, I think it was the most touchdowns he had was 39, I think, in that year.
Yeah.
I mean, we know he can do it. And it was centered around, again, that run game. Todd Gurley was lethal, not only for the LA Rams, but for Jared Goff's success. Now, we've heard Deuce Staley say it time and time over and over again that DeAndre Swift could be special. We heard Jared Goff on the Pivot podcast himself, and they say, which one of these guys out here shining for you? Which one of these guys out here balling for you? He said DeAndre Swift. You want to know why? Because he knows that's crucial to him balling.
Yes.
I'm saying you need that box to be crowded for him to do his thing. It is what it is at this point, and that's what we have. We didn't draft Malik Willis. We didn't draft a guy, a successor to him. Now I guarantee it that we're going to grab that person next year, but he's not here right now, and we have Jared Goff. And yes, he has the third most interceptions in 2018, but we know he can still perform with the run game. And hopefully Deuce Staley, Godwin, Justin Jefferson, Jamal, whoever the hell ends up making this team, that running back room, helps them continue to be.
You think we're 100% grabbing a quarterback next year? No doubt?
There's no doubt. I mean, it's to the point next year that Brad Holmes and both Dan Campbell's job kind of rides on it.
Really?
100%. I mean, it depends what they do this year. Obviously, if they win, then they have a little bit more cushion. And I don't know, but it's a lot of winning I think you expect out of it. If they have another 7-win season, I'm not saying another, like we've had a couple 7-win seasons, but if they have a 7-win season, I still think you got to go get that quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely lacking, but say the Lions finish where we expect them to, whether that be 7, 8, 9 games in that era. That's going to put them around the middle of the first round. That's going to put them around picks in the teens.
Yeah.
So, would you feel comfortable drafting your quarterback in the teens for your quarterback of the future, or are you trading the Rams pick, moving up, getting one of those top flight quarterbacks this year? If someone would be willing to trade out of that spot, or are you cool with a Will Levis or someone like that in the teens?
I don't have a draft class because I could give you names right now, but much like last year, before that entire college season took place, people were riding on names on Sam Darnold. I'm sorry, not Sam Darnold. Sam Howell.
Yes.
Who's the gentleman that was at Oklahoma and now he's at
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler. You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys are supposed to be like top of the first round picks. And they end up going like the first quarterback outside of Kenny Pickett, which he wasn't even part of that conversation, by the way.
Yeah.
So like I'm not a big fan of judging those quarterbacks now, but I'm cool with either way. If Brad Holmes likes a quarterback and he decides to move up for him, I'm confident with Brad Holmes' drafting ability at this point, unless he had a prior injury. But I'm confident enough Brad Holmes' drafting ability and resume that if he trade up and move to a guy, he's that guy.
He is that guy. I'm comfortable with Brad Holmes too, deciding what he wants to do with those picks, and it will hurt me a little bit if we don't get a quarterback. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
and
you got to get a quarterback.
You got to get a
Get
quarterback
one next year, man.
And if you need some help, you can go to SMA, because the Sports Marketing Agency, or SMA, helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. My guy Sean Jordan is doing something great and helping out the people who need it the most. So if you are struggling or know someone who is, make sure you go to thesportsma.com. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, live from Bedrock, Detroit's Monroe Street Midway, and we will be right back.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it. You've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Multiple different ways you can play. They have $12 open unlimited play. We can stay there opening until close. They also have private lane reservation, $120, 10 to 12 people. You get your own lane, and you can bring in any type of food you want. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine, as well as multiple full bars. So make sure you check out Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck or visit them online at fullingwarehouse.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spitmo Rex. We got Young Sus in the building. I got Flannel Sam on the ones and twos. Yes, the Detroit Lions are certainly getting a quarterback next year. Whether it's whether it's in the first round, second round, they're grabbing somebody.
Yeah.
I think the Tim Boyle, David Blau situation playing itself out, as ugly as it is right now, proves they have to grab somebody.
Somebody.
Because you're not trading for a backup quarterback. You're just not.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you think that backup quarterback at some point become a starter. You know, maybe a guard. I mean, I don't want to entertain Joey too much, but maybe a Gardner Minshew. But even that, that's not. You're not banking the future of a franchise on a guy like that.
Yes.
They have to grab somebody. Whether it's for the future or whether it's just replace a backup, but they're grabbing somebody next year. Flannel Sam, back me up here, man. They got to grab somebody next year, no?
I mean, what if the Lions actually have a successful year? What if they do what you've been saying they could do and win 8 or 9 games? And even, I don't even want to say the P word. I won't even say it. But, like, will you still feel that way even if they do win 8 or 9 games and Jared Goff is at least a high-end game manager?
Yes. Simply because of the contract at that point. I look at the similar situations. I think, Spinny, you were talking about this on BD. You might tune in for a little bit earlier today. Alex Smith got the Jimmy Garoppolo situation that went down.
Yep.
Even the Baker Mayfield thing that went down. You know what I'm saying, with them upgrading. Because let's not forget, Lamar Jackson hasn't signed a deal yet.
Yeah.
He very may well hit the market next year. And I'm not saying we should go out and get him, but I'm just saying Brad Holmes, said on the Rich Eisen show, if we had a guy that we had faith in, we'd go and grab him.
Yes.
And I think part of the reason that didn't happen last year is the entire NFL didn't believe in that quarterback class. We didn't see, outside of Kenny Pickett, a quarterback taken then again until, the third round?
Yeah.
Or second round?
I think
it had much more to do with, the evaluation of that quarterback class as a whole versus the need. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe it's I don't know if I really want to cash an early pick this soon to get a guy that I'm not 100% sold on.
Yeah.
Because, hey, as much as I would have been okay with him taking Malik Willis at 2, if he didn't pan out, that's his career in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Took Malik Willis at number 2 and just doesn't pan out. Hey, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I said that. I wasn't trying to say that. But nonetheless, though, they have to grab a quarterback.
They do. They do need to get a quarterback. You need to address that in the draft somewhere. And people are saying J.J. McCarthy, if J.J. balls out, Lions are going to grab him.
Stop.
He's not even going to start this year.
Stop.
Cade McNamara was just named a captain.
Oh, boy.
So he's going to be the starting quarterback for Michigan this year.
Can I say something about that real quick, too?
Yeah.
This reminds me of the Sekou Doumbouya folk hero story. This guy's a beast. This guy's so good. Look at him do this. Look at him do that every time he gets in the game. We dunked on Tristan Thompson. This guy's going to be a star. The coaches are there every single day in practice. Jim Harbaugh is coaching the Super Bowl. If J.J. McCarthy's not breaking into a starting quarterback role right now, there's something missing. We saw when he got in the Michigan State game last year, what happened? He turned the ball over.
Yeah,
Blake Corum turned the ball over.
He very well can be just lacking it cerebrally.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We may have all the skill set that takes physically. And Malik Willis is that himself. Has every little bit of physical skill set that you'd want in a quarterback. The sidearm, the running, all that stuff like that. But his processing of the game, the field, the second read, it's not there. That could be the situation with J.J. McCarthy. We're not there in practice, guys.
How do you feel about that, Sam?
I completely disagree. J.J. McCarthy is a 5-star. You have to start him or else Michigan is in danger of not getting 5-star quarterbacks in the future. I think it's more of a thing if Cade McNamara starts with loyalty and playing it safe, because Jim Harbaugh, whether you believe it or not, he wants to play in a box. He wants to play like his idol Bo Schembechler played.
Yeah.
And Cade McNamara is kind of that perfect game manager quarterback that Michigan has always had. Even if you go back to Brian Griese, even Tom Brady at Michigan to some extent. And, of course, like Shea Patterson, Wilton Speight, Jake Rudock.
Oh, yeah.
Those names. Not terrible, but
legends.
But no stars. I mean, Michigan, this is your opportunity to have a star quarterback. And Cade McNamara, like I always said ad nauseum many times on all different shows, he was carried by a great team. That's all he was.
Sure,
he was not a great quarterback.
I think Jim Harbaugh himself was carried by that defense.
And that's what to Sam's point, like that's what Harbaugh wants to do, though, is to play football, is to play that, small ball, if you'll call it that, to run the ball 45 times a game. He did it at Stanford, had success. He did it in the NFL with the 49ers, had success. He did it last year with Michigan, had success. So it's tough for you to go away from something that you know is working as fast as last year it worked, especially with the guy in Cade McNamara. And, I'm cool with it. You can start Cade all you want.
Oh, you should.
I'm awesome. I'm ecstatic.
Hold on one second. Before we throw Jim Harbaugh on he only likes missionary. Like, that's not the case because he had Alex Smith, and they were doing pretty damn well with the 49ers until it did what happened. He put in a sexy pick or sexy player like Colin Kaepernick, who just
they were still running the ball 40 times a game when they had Colin Kaepernick in there.
But still, different from, the Bolshevik way, the missionary way, Like, he's not afraid to spice it up if it means winning.
But it took an injury, though. People forget that to Alex Smith. It wasn't just like he inserted Colin Kaepernick randomly. I mean, if Cade McNamara gets hurt, I'm not wishing that. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy is going to play, but he should be playing right now. If I'm J.J. McCarthy, I might consider transferring if I'm not the starting quarterback on day one.
If I was J.J. McCarthy, I would have transferred last year. Get the hell out of there if they're not going to start me. I'm going to go get paid somewhere else. I'm going to go be a 5-star and start somewhere else and bolster my credentials to get to the NFL. I don't know why the hell he's still waiting there. Like, what is going on?
Maybe he knows, like, shit, I'm not ready.
No.
You know?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, because he has that. We're in the modern day era where guys can transfer and go wherever the hell they want. If he's sitting stand put too, maybe he knows his damn self. I ain't ready for all that yet. Not quite yet. I'm just saying, guys, we're not there every day.
I mean, maybe it's not a done deal. Maybe being captain is just sort of a formality because he is a veteran player. But it's not looking good for my boy J.J. McCarthy.
If you have a senior quarterback and you name him captain, I feel like there's no way he doesn't start for the team.
It's a little bit of wishful thinking on my part. I mean, I did say in the BDE group chat that if Cade McNamara is starting, I might boo him at Michigan Stadium.
Yeah, that's true. And that's, I do think that is damage caused to Michigan. Because other 5-stars will see that. Joe Milton wasn't a 5-star, but he was a highly touted quarterback prospect. Dylan McCaffrey, was he a 5-star? I think he was. Yeah, and those guys come in there, and they're sitting behind, like you said, Wilson Spates, Shea Pattersons, Cade McNamara's. If I'm a 5-star quarterback, I'm saying, why would I go to Michigan? First of all, I'm not going to get paid as much there rather than any of these other schools where I can get paid $1 million if I go to Oregon. Why would I go to Michigan? I'm going to start there right away, and we're going to throw the ball 30 times a game. Why would I go to Michigan to sit behind this guy who's I'm better than, not get paid as much, and we're going to run the ball 40 times a game?
I mean, I believe in my heart of hearts, maybe this is just me as a Michigan fan, that C.J. Carr and Dante Moore would have considered Michigan stronger if they ran a more wide-open offense. I mean, C.J. Carr has been like born and bred Michigan. Probably his first onesie was a Michigan onesie, and he spurns them for Notre Dame. And Dante Moore goes to Oregon, but they're looking at that offense being like, I'm going to hand the ball off 35, 40 times. I might not even start over Cade McNamara, who has a fifth of the talent of me. Come on, it's just so damaging, and I hate it.
100%.
Oh, boy.
Man, like I said, I just go back to the Saquon Naboya situation. This guy dunked on Tristan Thompson one time, and he's the next Pascal Siakam. Just pump the brakes a little bit. These guys, they've been the industry.
He hasn't even got the chance to dunk on Tristan Thompson. They haven't started him in a game.
He's got some PT. I just remember seeing him in Michigan State game specifically.
Yeah, I mean, how easy is it when you're coming in cold off the bench for one snap in a rivalry game, with playing against Michigan? Like, that is a terrible setup for to bring in your 5-star young gun. It's like, oh yeah, we'll bring him in twice in one of our 3 most important games of the year. and he'll be able to work it out. It's like, no, that's not good coaching.
Hey, you remember, Spencer, J.J. McCarthy, people tend to forget, had the best throw of the entire game. That 17-yard pass to Andrell Anthony over good coverage off of a rollout, and he also had the best pass by a Michigan player in the Ohio State game.
In the modern era.
In the modern era. But yeah.
Literally the best pass I've ever seen out of a Michigan quarterback. He was rolling and dropped a dot 40, 50 yards down the field. It was insane.
Oh, man. I mean, but that's, you'd rather start Cade McNamara, Mr. game manager noodle arm.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying, hey, Malik Willis looks nice if you're throwing that ball, but if I'm throwing 12 more times, you're maybe not so happy. I'm just saying.
I mean, in college it worked.
I don't know if it worked. Liberty wasn't that good.
That's not his fault. If you give Malik Willis Michigan's roster that they have now, a roster that went to a college football playoff, I bet they'd be very good.
Shall see. I'm very interested in this dynamic, so much so that I might just chip Cade back in there next time I see him.
That's what I'm saying. Sam's going to be waiting out by his car with a tire iron.
Oh, dude, I see him doing the ritual. He's hopping on one foot. I don't know if he's trying to get his shoe on or back in his pants or what.
If you're Sam Flannel and you have to sit through a whole nother season of Cade McNamara starting, Eazy, what would you have to do to get through that?
Well, I'd find it quite entertaining, guys, because I'm a Michigan State fan. And, I love to see Michigan fans scramble and cry. I'd probably kick back, relax, and open up me a can of the mulligan made by Gypsy Vodka. Guys, it's so damn good. 8% alcohol. It takes you where you need to be. You don't got to keep chugging them, get the beer burps. The mulligan's where it's at, man. It's the official drink this summer, and it's made by Gypsy Vodka. Whether you're out on the golf course or hang out in the backyard with the boys, just chilling, watching Woodward Sports and all these Michigan slappies on TVO. You know what I'm saying? Freak out about the Cade McNamara dynamic. Make sure you crack open a mulligan and ask for it at Total Wine near you. It's Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back from the Monroe Street Midway.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
Yo, chili pepper tan is where it's at. You want to look at least half black. You want to get the tan and go wound down. I'm playing. Join the Pepper Club at Chili Pepper Tan because right now there'll be all deals by all competitors by $5.
$5?
$5. Chili Peppers has the hottest balls, the hottest deals, the darkest tans with 26 locations and more. Keep that sand out your butt crack and visit them.
Butt crack full of sand.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy. Join my man Spin More Rex.
What up, though?
We got a young sus in the not a building. We got a young sus outside. My man Flannel Sam outside.
We outside.
In the building. Adam Morrissey, Adam Baydoun, Adam times 2. I got Jeff Freddy was down here somewhere. Hey, let me tell you, I don't think the sus knows, but Jeff's looking to score on him.
Yeah.
Jeff,
he's going to give you some buckets.
All of that he was doing over there is in preparation to embarrass you. I know.
You're gonna dog walk him?
I just want you to be prepared for this.
You gonna dog walk Jeff like you did Cheese Nips?
All right, here's what's gonna happen. See, he's been warming up all day, trying to get loose, trying to get ready to face me in the paint. On the perimeter, 100%, he's got me. He's got me. I'm not agile. I'm not out there on the perimeter, but in the paint, come on.
It's Mama's house.
Come on, it's Baba's house. Baba's house.
Sus, I would have 110% been rooting for you had you not worn that atrocious, hideous jersey you have.
Hold on, let me take off the graphic and let me throw it back to me so y'all can see what the magic's about.
Come on, there's no magic.
The greatest to ever wear 23.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh, yo, that's low-key racist or something. Like you can't just be down here saying that. What, you ever see that Blake Griffin bit with Drake? He's like, I look like a black man who jumped in a pile of Cheetos.
Yeah. What is Blake Griffin? Is he?
He's mixed.
He's mixed? Okay.
Yeah, it's dark as hell.
Really?
Yeah.
Pete Davidson? Is he Pete Davidson?
I forget.
No, Pete Davidson's white.
Hannibal Buress said, I don't know what you are, Pete Davidson. You got a weird-ass face.
That's so funny. Because for a minute, I didn't know that about Pete Davidson either. I didn't know what the hell was going on there, too.
But we're keeping it at basketball. We're keeping it on basketball. We just got done debating whether, Cade, McNamara, or J.J. McCarthy should start. Let's talk about Chet Holmgren. The man, the myth, the legend, the 7-foot sus, the guy who is probably even more sus than sus. He was looking a little weird at that point. But Chet Holmgren is going to miss his entire rookie season with a Liz Frank injury in his foot that he suffered trying to stop LeBron in a pro-am game. And what does that mean for Jaden Ivey? What does that mean for his Rookie of the Year odds now that Chet Holmgren is out of the picture for this year?
It means I lost $5, Vinny. When we very first started the damn Heavyweights Out of Live studio, we had that one game of Chet Holmgren. What do you have, like 5 blocks, 8 blocks, something crazy? I was like, here's Rookie of the Year. It's going to happen.
Yep.
Ran to mybookie.8. Oh, it's not even sponsoring. I shout out them out anymore. But I ran to my sports book. Obviously, I use OddsTrader to get there. And I threw a 5 spot on it. And you guys know me. I'm a $1 bettor. I threw a 5 on this one. And now he's out. The Liz Frank injury.
He's out of here. He's out of here. Yeah, it's tough, man. You hate to see it. You hate to see a young guy go down like that. It is a tough injury. And that's scary. That is a big man suffering a foot injury. Obviously, he doesn't have the weight on him that a Greg Oden does, so you don't have to worry about that too much.
What was Greg Oden's? Was that Liz Frank as well?
I don't think so.
Remember
I'm not sure.
Sam? Or Sus?
It was lots of knee injuries. It wasn't
joints.
foot. Yeah.
It was joints
Yeah.
and stuff.
Like everything.
But a big man suffering a foot injury is like the Levi with the back injury. Like, especially playing basketball, that's going to keep coming back. That's not something that's just going to go away after it's healed.
Yeah.
That is going to be a lingering thing. So,
lingerers,
man. I feel bad. Lingerers. But I feel bad for the guy. But I think this does. It just means Jaden Ivey has one less guy he has to compete with. Mm-hmm. So if Jaden Ivey goes out there and balls and averages like 16, 17 points, 4 or 5 rebounds, 3 or 4 assists, I think he's got that Rookie of the Year in the bag. Because Jabari didn't look too great in Summer League, and it's Summer League. I expect Jabari Smith to be a good player. Paulo looked pretty well. Paulo looked pretty good. I think he's going to go out there. He's going to produce. But Dyson Daniels might be a guy that you're going to have to look out for. I think Dyson Daniels is going to be a guy that he's going to be on one of the better teams out of rookies. He has a lot of potential, with guys out there to get a bunch of assists. If he can score the ball at all, we know he's going to be an elite defender and elite distributor. So if he can score the ball at all, he could go out there and he could put up some numbers. But Jaden Ivey, I got to think, might be the betting favorite, when the season starts to bring home that Rookie of the Year honors, unless, they do a Cade Cunningham situation and he obviously had the best season, but he still doesn't get the award because somehow it just happens to be based off of team success now. Like, look at that.
Once, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all of a sudden. Huh?
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Sus? Do you think Jaden Ivey's got a better shot at winning Rookie of the Year now?
Absolutely, he's got a better shot. That's not the question. The question is this narrative, is the Rookie of the Year now the MVP, and there's a narrative to the voting? Because there wasn't before, and now until last year, now all of a sudden it's, oh my God, if you're a role player on a winning team, you're Rookie of the Year. So I didn't like that Rookie of the Year last year, and I think Jaden Ivey, look, we talked about it this year. Vegas has their over-under at 26.5. That's nowhere near the play-in tournament. Everyone at Woodward pretty much is higher on the Pistons and expecting them to be at least flirting with the play-in.
For sure.
So if they flirt with the play-in or win the play-in, I think Jaden Ivey's Rookie of the Year because, to me, I think 16-17 is the highest he'll average for Ivey this year. So I don't think he's gonna wow people with the numbers. But if he puts solid numbers and is clearly the second or third best player on the team, and that team flirts with the playoffs or gets into the playoffs, then I think you look at Pablo, who's going to put up nice numbers, but he's also going to be on a team with a lot of shooters that will take some touches. And, if Orlando's at the bottom of the league and Detroit's in the play-ins, then, that's the path for Ivey.
That's a path,
Ivey has a real path. I feel stupid for not betting $5, like a month ago.
For sure. Eazy, our noted Jaden Ivey hater, could you see him balling out and winning that Rookie of the Year, even without Cade doing it last year after what Cade did for this team?
I think there's a little bit of what Chris said to like a narrative. I think it's let's be real about it. You know, the guys voting on this are journalists. They write stories on these guys. I think last year, if Evan Mobley hadn't got hurt, he would have been Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
It was an easier story to write. This guy turned around a Cleveland franchise. The thing with the Raptors last year is it's the easier story to write. He brought them back to winning. Like I'm saying, even as a third option on the team, maybe even fourth option on the team, brought them back to winning, which I don't believe was the case. But I think there's a narrative that NBA journalists and writers will very much agree with or be fond of when it comes to Jaden Ivey because of the Detroit thing. But ultimately, if it's a winning award, which could also be looked at from this year too, I think you got on the nose. Dyson Daniels was he's with the Pelicans, correct? Pelicans got a little bit of a roster, man. They went to the playoffs, battled it out with the Suns respectively, without their best player in Zion Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
You have Dyson Daniels in the court throwing up lobs to Zion Williamson. You're gonna recognize that name a lot more. That's gonna be a fun one to write about too for him.
For sure.
Obviously you're eliminating a true contender for Rookie of the Year in Chet Holmgren, so it automatically raises Jaden's odds of winning Rookie of the Year, but I'm not going to give it to him in a lock.
You don't think it's realistic?
No, I mean, I think I can see it being realistic.
Yeah.
It's just not a lock for me. I mean, and Paolo Banchero deserves to be part of this conversation too.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not ushering him out of the conversation either. It's going to be between Paolo, Jaden. Who else am I missing? I'm not saying Jabari. I don't think Jabari is going to reach Rookie of the Year status.
Dyson. Jabari.
Nah, I'm not going to put Jabari.
No,
in there.
Jabari can't be up there.
No Jabari for me, man.
Keegan Murray, your boy Keegan Murray.
Keegan Murray. Wow,
Keegan Murray. Sacramento could, as much as we laugh at Sacramento and, no active player in the NBA has ever faced the Kings in the playoffs, they could be a play-in team this year. They could be a team that has some, they have Sabonis. They have De'Aaron Fox. They have Davion Mitchell. They just got Keegan Murray. They don't have a bad roster on paper, although they will be the Sacramento Kings and probably finish second to last in their division, if I'm being honest. They have the potential to go out there and fight for a play-in team with the talent on their roster.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I hope Jaden Ivey's Rookie of the Year. That means he had a damn good year. I think he's going to have a little bit of transition, though, when it comes to the NBA, and just especially when it comes to becoming a playmaker at the NBA level.
He's definitely going to have some transition, but I see pairing him in the backcourt with Cade Cunningham is going to improve his growth tenfold. You have him next to a guy that is going to be selfless, that is going to put him in the best positions that he can to possibly succeed. You have a guy that got double-teamed more than Kevin freaking Durant last year. Cade Cunningham as a rookie got more double teams than Kevin Durant. That is something. And when you bring a guy that is as explosive as Jaden Ivey is, that can put that much pressure on the basket that Jaden Ivey can, I think having him next to Cade Cunningham will open up easier lanes for him. He'll get the ball right in the bucket, right next to the bucket, because Cade's going to be dropping him dimes. So I think having him next to a guy like Cade Cunningham opposed to, you put Kevin Porter Jr. with Jalen Green. Those guys are two guys that want to shoot the ball. You have Cade Cunningham, who is going to be an unselfish superstar in this league, and you put Jaden Ivey next to him, it'll only improve his status. What do you think about that, Sus?
I think his odds increase more, too, if he's not being asked to be a playmaker. Let him be a scorer.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part about the Chet injury is that you really do look at the rookie landscape, and who was set up best to get Rookie of the Year? It was Chet, because he had 2 point guards that would just feed him the ball, nonstop.
100%, yeah.
And so he had great role players like Lou Dortz and stuff. So he had the ingredients to really be Rookie of the Year because there was no real big that was going to take away a lot of minutes from him. So that's the unfortunate part about it. But for Jaden Ivey, being paired next to Cade, you're right, is the blessing when you look at the rookie landscape and the situations. We've talked about it endlessly, the perfect fit that they are, the athletic versus the non-athletic, more cerebral, the double teams that Cade gets. Everything leads to better progress for Jaden Ivey, although he will struggle because all rookies do. But again, the path is totally open for Jaden Ivey. I won't say it's his to lose because Pablo, looks like that boy.
Yeah.
He looks like that boy, But again, you look at that team, and you got Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs, and I think those two are gunning with something to prove. And Wagner certainly gets up his shots as well. So
for sure,
it's looking like Jaden Ivey has a very real shot.
I do. Yeah.
Real quick, Smith, before we go pay some bills, who do you think has better Rookie of the Year odds, Aiden Hutchinson or Jaden Ivey?
Aiden Hutchinson. He's got the best Rookie of the Year odds. And Aiden Hutchinson, the NFL Rookie of the Year, is not dictated off of team success like the NBA was last year. Aiden Hutchinson can go out there, and if he gets 10 sacks, but the Lions lose 12 games, he'll still get Rookie of the Year. Okay. So I'm going to go with that. But, if you need, some assistance to make yourself look presentable if you're accepting an award pretty soon, then you should go to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Because as you know, we used to broadcast this show live from the headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Birmingham. Not today because we're at the Monroe Street Midway. But at Lady Jane's, it's awesome when I get off the show. If I want to sit down in one of those chairs, I know my girls, Alyssa or Megan, will take care of me. You should get into a Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men near you and let them treat you like a king as well. They are open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime, and you'll be wicked awesome as soon as you get out of those chairs. So like I said, get into a Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men near you, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week, and make sure your hair is game ready. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We are live at the Monroe Street Midway, presented by Bedrock Detroit, and we'll be right back.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
Trader.
OddsTrader.com is the one site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price in every game.
We the best.
Guys, I say this all the time. If you gamble with your money, be smart with your money. Use OddsTrader.com to
God,
shop for the best odds and capitalize on your profits at OddsTrader.com. Go to OddsTrader.com right now for your best bet.
God did.
What up,
Father of Assad.
Back. Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, join my man Spin Morat.
What up, though?
I hear the name Assad, and I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah,
welcome back. We got my man Flannel Sam, my guy Young Sus, doing his team in the ones and twos, and we are winding down for the last 10 minutes of the show. I appreciate everyone who started with us when it was rocking and continue to ride through and hit that like button. We appreciate you. Thank you. But we're talking more Detroit Pistons.
We are.
Our guy AshtonDaTrainer, who will be sporting one of these fancy Woodward Heavyweights Deadweight merch.
Ooh, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Boy, sexy.
He hit Twitter, as he does. He says Cade's going to be an all-star this season.
He did.
Agree or disagree?
It's tough, man. I think he will have the stats to be an all-star. I think he'll definitely put up enough points, enough rebounds, enough assists. He will have the statistical numbers to be an all-star. Like I said, I got him at like 22, 7.5, and 5, I think is what I had him at this year. But All-Star is a thing that depends on your team's winning. All-Star is no doubt a stat-driven and team-driven spot. So if Cade's going out there and going for 22 and 7 and 5, he still needs the Pistons to succeed in order to get into that All-Star game. It's tough for me to say that he will because I don't think this team will have enough success next year to put out an all-star. I think he'll have all-star numbers. I think he's going to have a great year. Unless he goes out there and does something to where they can't deny him, like he's averaging 27 and 8 or something like that, it's going to be tough for him to make the all-star team this year because I think the Pistons will be on the lower end of the East.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 2021 all-star rosters, and I think the only guys on the losing team was Damian Lillard.
DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray made it with a reserve or vote-in type deal.
Well, Eazy, you're looking at the previous year. You're looking 2 years ago. 2021 was.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a 2022 All-Star, which DeJounte was on, like Spencer said.
Okay.
So that was the loser, yeah.
Okay, so well then actually, the Blazers had a winning record that year.
He's a loser.
Well, here's the thing about it is you have to, if Cade's going to be an All-Star, you have to look through the Eastern Conference and he has to not have 6 guards better than him.
Yeah.
That's just the math.
Yep.
So you got to factor in, again, you can go with DeJounte, Trae Young, LaMelo Ball, names like Kyrie will probably, you presume, can be there that wasn't there last year. DeMar DeRozan was there, Zach LaVine was there, but one of those can be stretched to a forward. So you have a lot of odds. Chris Middleton's a forward, so he won't really be in competition
Jaylen Brown.
with Cade. But yes, Jaylen Brown, thank you.
Garland.
Darius Garland, yes.
Fred VanVleet, maybe.
Yeah.
Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet, I expect to get replaced. But, yeah, that's just the math of it, guys, is Cade has to not be worse than 6 guards.
Yeah.
That's just the math.
That's what it is, and it's tough. It's going to be tough in the East. There are a lot of good guards, and like we said, even if he is better than some of those guards, they might be on better teams.
Right.
Like if he's having a better year than LaMelo Ball statistically, but the Hornets are, 5 games ahead of the Pistons, it's going to be tough for him to overcome that. Although I do think the Pistons are going to take a hit this year. I mean, the Hornets are going to take a hit this year, obviously from losing Miles Bridges for him being a dumbass, and it's a total piece of shit for sure. And it's gonna take a lot for them to overcome that because he was a big factor on that team last year. So there are teams that might take a fall off from last year. You look at teams like the Pelicans. You look at teams like the Bulls. Can they continue to do what they did last year, which was great? But it's tough once you look at that East that a lot of those teams are good. You expect them to stay good, like the Celtics, like the Nets, like the Bulls, like the Hawks got better.
Yeah.
The Hawks got, like the 76ers. Huh?
So Lonzo may even
Lonzo is in that conversation for sure, but we need to see him stay healthy.
We also forgot Bradley Beal, by the way.
Bradley Beal, yeah. But the Wizards are probably going to be trash.
I mean,
but he's
got the clout.
He's still got the clout to make it for sure. Yeah, so it's going to be an upwards climb for Cade. Like I said, I think he'll definitely be deserving. He'll definitely have the stats. He's going to put up the stats to be considered for sure. But it's going to take something special, either him going crazy or the Pistons over-exceeding our expectations for him to get into that All-Star game.
100%. He's going to have to be on SportsCenter. It's going to have to be that type of thing where, he needs a fan push as well. Because I think that he has the league's respect. You saw Kevin Durant, who's easily one of the top 3 players in the NBA right now, give him his due credit. And Cade go back and forth with him last year.
Yep.
Which I'll remember that until I start forgetting shit. That was awesome. To be honest,
that's a bar.
Honestly, though, until I get old enough to forget it, I'm always going to remember that. Because that, pointed to me, this kid's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He is Timothy Turner. 100%.
Him, Turner.
But if because obviously coaches and players get votes now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Well, it's going to be a fan push for Cade to finally push through, and he's going to have to.
The fans just decide the starters, though.
Yeah.
All the reserves are decided by coaches and media. So Herb Jones is going to be a reserve.
Oh my God. Stop. We got a special request in the chat to talk about the Leon Edwards finish over Kamaru Usman before the show ends. We did talk about that Monday, but for Joey Spinney, has your mind digested that moment yet?
It really hasn't. I really still haven't been okay, yeah, that was awesome. The guy is still he was one of the best UFC fighters of our generation. He was arguably the best welterweight of all time. And he went out there and dominated a guy for 4 out of 5 rounds. And in the last 40 seconds, got knocked out cold. Lights out, folded, fell back. And the way Leon did it, where he led him with the left and then brought that kick up and just whop right across his chin. That was an insane knockout. One of the best I've seen in a long time.
He was a beauty, mate. I was thinking, I said the other day, too, it's man, I can't wait for the hype promo for this card. You know it's going to be in London. You know Paddy Pimblett's going to be on it. But I was thinking, champion Kamaru Usman. No, he's not the champ no more.
Yeah, he's not.
It's crazy to say, man. It's wild to say. One of the craziest finishes I've ever witnessed as an MMA fan. That's why you love the sport, man.
Yeah, what's up,
sir? Dominated for last 3 rounds.
I have a friend who's much more into fighting like you guys, and so he said this, and I wanted to just see if you two can confirm it, that the trainer, Leon Edwards' trainer, talked about that was their strategy.
Yes.
Like they knew that tendency of, and I didn't know that, so that blew me away that I just found that out.
It's a common mistake by wrestlers. Daniel Cormier got knocked out the same way by John Jones.
Dominic Cruz got knocked out the same thing the week before.
Yeah.
By Cheeto Vera. Like, literally the same exact thing. Yeah,
that's amazing. That makes it more amazing to me.
Yeah. But that'll do it for us here today, folks. That'll do. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share the stream. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We appreciate Bedrock Detroit for letting us camp out here and broadcast at their beautiful Monroe Street Midway. Make sure you come in and check out the Jersey Thursdays. That will be starting soon. But for today, we're giving it a rest. For the man to my left, Speak Easy. For Young Sus, Chris Platty holding it down. For Sam Flannel. And for all of the great Woodward people that made sure this happened. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.